Hey everyone, welcome to Friday. You have made it through to day 5 of Level Up Lead Generation. My name's Courtney Zentz, the Accidental Business Coach, and I'm going to talk to you today all about money and mindset because so many business owners have imposter syndrome and so many business owners don't look with the right mindset at their business. So we're going to dive into it today. I'm going to get deep and try to help you overcome some of the blocks you have to grow your business, right? I just put a newsletter together this morning that's going to be going out on Monday, talking all about how we did a little bit of spring cleaning here last night and cleaned out my desk and I prepped it to make sure I was feeling good energy when I came in the morning. I'm really excited to like spring clean the yard and the garden so I could get the soil ready to plant some seeds. The seeds are not going to grow if you just toss them out on the mulch, right? Or in most cases. So you've got to make sure that you're looking at your business through the lens where you've got the right mindset, you've got the right balance of new clients coming in, and the balance of what you want this business to be from a success measurement standpoint in alignment through the rest of this year. And I want to start with a question for you to really kind of think about because it's frankly something that has shifted massively for me over the course of the 20 plus years that I've been in business. Why did you start your company? Right? Why did you start this business? Was it for financial freedom? Was it for freedom to play with your kids more? Was it for side hustle? Right? Was it just a passion project? Is it to support your family? There's a lot of reasons that entrepreneurs get into business, and they are very personal for everyone. I'll tell you, when I first graduated from college, I came off of my dad, who was in federal prison for 5 years. He embezzled a heavy amount of money, was in prison most of the probably most important years of my life. And I was left immediately at the age of 16 working 3 jobs and putting myself through high school and then putting myself through college. I came from what would be considered an upper middle class family, right? We had money, but evidently it was not, you know, something he went to jail for. So it was obviously more going on than I really realized at the time. And, lo and behold, and, my dad's great and he's 70 and, it is what it is. But that was a real big lesson for me, frankly, because I immediately was thrust into like working, and I still work a lot more than I should, because I have a deep rooted fear that one day the rug will be pulled out from under me like it was when I was a kid, right? So that's something that sits with me that interacts in every part of my life. Okay. I was solely focused in my 20s on making money and climbing the corporate ladder. I did not have a boyfriend. I didn't care. I dated guys here and there, but my interest was getting up, going to work, coming home, and probably going out in my 20s or flipping the house that I bought with my best friend with the $100 a month that we budgeted from Home Depot to do what we could. And, investment wise, that was a good move. We both made about 25 grand in our 20s and bought our next house, which happened to be with my husband, who I met when I was 29. But my passion changed, right? I was in corporate, I was in my 20s, and I was doing well and growing up the ladder. And then I met my husband and I thought, you know what? I need to be more balanced now. We just got married. I'm pregnant. We're having a kid. And I then hit my 40s, right? Which I'm now 42-ish. And, wanted to be more authentic, right? So my journey from when I was 16 to now is vastly different. And when I was 22, getting my master's degree at Penn State, I wrote a thesis. It was titled Kaleidoscope Career Types. And it talked about in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, the different career changes that you'll go through perspective-wise and what's most important: challenged, balanced, or authentic. In my 20s, I was challenged. I wanted to make money. In my 30s, I was trying to be balanced. I had my stomach removed. I found out I was pregnant with my second kid. I was working full time. I was doing sleep coaching. I had a lot going on. I was newly married. And in my 40s, it's all about authenticity. I run this business. I run all of my businesses for the true fact of feeling joy in what I do, right? Why is this important? We're all going to have different whys into why we do a business. And we're also going to have different kind of reasons for continuing to do it or feeling challenged or waking up every day and wanting to do it. I've been a sleep coach in the other side of my business for a decade. Every single person that I certified with almost 10 years ago is done. Like there's maybe 3 people still doing sleep coaching out of 24. right? Why? Burnout, failure, inability to be motivated to do it, unsure of how to do it, right? That's a pretty big stat. There's literally 3 of us left that are still doing sleep coaching. And it's crazy to me. I'm like, you invested so much money in this, and yet they didn't have success. Well, success is a relative term to them. Maybe they did have success. Maybe for that period of their life, they did what they wanted with the sleep coaching business, and then they sunset it, right? Was it 1 year, 3 years, 10 years? Success to everyone, including myself, has changed dramatically. So what I want you to understand as you're listening to this training today, I want you to think about, like, what does success mean to you? Because when I was in my 20s, I'm like, I want to make $1 bazillion, right? Because I was always so afraid that I was never going to have it, right? I'm still very much afraid. I do well. And I'm still afraid of not like working, and that it's okay to take a day off and go to the beach or something. Like, I have such my own personal blockers around it. And I work continuously to get over those blockers because I'm not my dad, right? My mom's dead. I'm not my dad. I still now take care of my dad, but that left an impression on me deep down inside that, there's only so much yoga I can do to get rid of it. But we all are doing things for a reason, and we all look at success differently, right? I think in my 20s, I looked at success as money, right? In my 30s, I still looked at it as money, but also balance, right? I want to have flexibility because now I got kids I got to manage and a husband I got to love right here. And now I get into my 40s and I'm like, you know what? I just want to feel joy. Yeah, I got bills to pay. I want to pay my bills and be able to like go on vacation once a year. Like that to me is success now, right? So depending on when you ask yourself that question, it's going to look a little bit different. And I think you've got to sit down as you're going through the rest of the Level Up Lead Gen, looking at your business. Doesn't matter what your business is it working for you? Right? A lot of people come to me in the lab and they join the lab because they're looking for a change, right? You can have a pretty massive change just from this series, okay? What isn't going to change is your situation if you do nothing, right? I read a book recently and it talked about the waiting epidemic, and it said 9 out of 10 people will never make conscious changes to better their situation, right? You don't like your job? Find a new one. You don't like how much money you make? Offer something that's going to make more, right? You don't like your house. You don't like the color paint in your bedroom, right? Like, we have a beautiful ability to change if we want to. A lot of people, 9 out of 10, will sit and wait for life to happen. I will invest in this when. I will paint this when. I will purchase this when. I will do this when. And they wait. And when doesn't come. And then they wait. And then they're miserable and they're frustrated and they're tired and they're spinning their wheels, right? The best quote that I hear all across business is talking about momentum, right? Momentum shifts and momentum change. You have to change for things to change, right? And I use this stat, I forget the book it was in. It was an audiobook, so I don't recall because I listened to it. But it was like, if you move just 1% every day doing something differently, it's a pretty big leap at the end of the year versus just sitting here and hoping like they're going to find me. I think one of the lessons I had to learn really quickly when I became a sleep coach was like, it's not if you build it, they will come. I was sold the world when I became a sleep coach, like, oh, business in a box. We're going to do all this stuff. Bullshit. I had to do all of it. I have built my agency and I've built this business out of my brain and my knowledge and my know-how and my hustle. I hustle. You don't have clients? Where are you expecting to get them? If you don't put any content out or you're not out boots on the ground, where are your clients coming from? You think Google's going to serve you up? Your domain authorities are too. And we're going to get to that next week. So you have to look at, what do you want your business to look like? And what are you doing to change that, right? I just had this conversation with somebody the other day, a family member. And they're like, this is frustrating, this is frustrating, this is frustrating. I'm like, what are you doing to change? Like, we've had this conversation like 15 times in the past year. Like, I get things are overwhelming, but you got to like, part of this is you, dude. Like, you got to check yourself and figure out what you're doing. Everybody looks at me like I've got my life so together. You know why? Because I'm up every day at 5 o'clock. I'm on my computer at 5:01. I'm done at 3 o'clock. I'm type A. I got everything organized. I say, no, that doesn't work for me. Best line I learned last year. I'm sorry. No, that doesn't work for me. I have boundaries in my life. I have boundaries in my personal life, boundaries in my business life. And that has allowed me to grow in the way I want to, right? Can I do things better? Absolutely. Just before we started today, I was talking to Kelly about a couple things this morning, right? I'm trying to learn how to do some different things. Some of the things around Facebook ads. I don't know how to do Facebook ads. I haven't run an ad in 10 years, but we have a product that makes sense to run ads for, right? I have to spend money to make money, right? And it's such a simple idea. You have to spend energy to get that energy back. You have to spend time to get that back in time spent with clients, right? You've got to put the effort in to get the reward on the other side, right? We have a new sleep coaching program. It's gangbusters. And it's only $47 a month because it meets my mission of bringing joy to myself and other people. Could I charge hundreds for it? Yes. Am I? No. Will I? Absolutely not. Because it's not the mission. The mission isn't to make $7 million. The mission is to build a product that gives quality sleep coaching to everyone and makes it accessible, right? My mission's different now. But to find people that want that type of coaching, I have to do ads. Okay, well, what type of ad? I know very prominent sleep coaching companies that their sole marketing is ads. Sole marketing, Google ads. That's it. And they're making a lot of money, but money's relative. I want to make 3 million, 5 million, 7 million, 10 million, 50,000. Whatever the number is, guys, it doesn't matter. If you spent $49,000 on ads to make $50,000, it's not something I would personally do, but you're still net positive $1,000, right? Now, if you spend maybe 20 bucks on a person to get a $50 package, still 30 bucks. Hell yeah, I'll do it. We used to do Ask Me Anything calls. That was the last time I ran ads. $100, 30 minutes, and I would spend 10 bucks to acquire the client. Cost per click. I'm still net positive 90 bucks. If I can make $180 an hour as a sleep coach, just talking to people for 30 minutes and then call it a day and we're done, awesome. People on my team love that because that's all they want to do. They work full time doing other stuff and they just want to do these like mini sessions, right? Or a partnership with some of these other providers that offer services like sleep coaching. And so it's just so fascinating because you have to assign money to what you're trying to do to get the reward on the back end, right? I'll happily spend 20 bucks to get somebody in for 50. All Sleep Steps costs me is once a week, an hour. And then any time that myself or my team spends answering questions in the community. It's scalable, right? But I have to spend money to make money. The first time I hired a business coach, she left such a sour taste in my mouth because I looked up to her. I envied her. I wanted to be her. She seemed to have it all together. She was like a former cheerleader and she's beautiful. She's got like the picture perfect everything, right? And I joined the program as somebody who frankly is pretty good at business. And it was the worst investment I've ever made in my business. And I was so sad by that. And then I went out and saw all the Glassdoor reviews, right? Who were like, she is awful. She is mean. She is nothing like she appears on camera. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be anything like you. You might have all the money in the world, but I keep getting requests to rejoin or come back or an alumni meeting, which tells me you're not doing a great job right now, right? So you rode your little wave for a bit, and now you're trying 3 years later to claw me back in because obviously what you were doing is no longer working. I don't want to have anything to do or want to be like somebody like that. But I made a business investment and was like, oh, I'm so disappointed in that. I really struggle to make investments now because of that. I was scarred a bit, right? It was this bait and switch. I hired a social media manager once in my life, probably 3 years ago, $1,000 a month, 4 posts a week, blah, blah, blah. The day I signed the contract, she's like, you're going to work with my VA now. And I was like, I didn't hire you to work with your VA. I hired you to work with you, you know? And I was so pissed. I canceled the contract that day. I was like, we're done in 90 days. Here's my stuff. Get started. And we're finished in 90 days. I was so pissed at the bait and switch. And I see it a lot in the business space, right? Spending money on systems is hard. But look at the outcome you can get from spending the money on the system. If I could spend $50 a month on a system or even $100 a month, but know that I can earn $10,000, $15,000. Why would I not spend the money on the system? I think sometimes people get so caught up in like not spending money that you're wasting so much time to make such forward progress that would make you so much more money or give you so much more time in what you were trying to do. But your money mindset is that like, you got to hold on to it, right? I spend money every month in my business on things, and I spend it happily because it's helping me to change the needle in my business to where I want my business to be, right? I paid a business coach $3,000 for 1 month. 1 month. That was it. She charged $50,000 a year. I was like, you're high if you think I'm going to pay you $50,000 a year. But that was what her value was. Whether she actually charged that or not, that was her value. I do private coaching with 2 clients a year. It's 50,000 each. Okay. Well, I want to hire you, but I'm not paying you 50 grand. Can I pay you 3 grand for 1 month? So what I charge for the lab for 6 months, essentially like a month and a half of working with her. And it was like 2 phone calls and like a couple therapy sessions. It was the best damn money I ever spent in my business. You know why? Because she helped me to invent the lab. She helped me to get out of my own way with money and mindset. And she was just this one person who was such a light of air who was like, you're the problem. You're the problem. Get out of your own way, And it was just sometimes somebody calling you out because I'm pretty smart, guys. Like I have confidence. I have no problem with like my confidence and my knowledge in all things. Like it's not cocky. I'm confident in what I do and what I sell and what I know, but I couldn't get out of my own way. Right. And she was like, get out of your own way. And it totally transformed my mindset and my business and the way I still to this day do things. And I took a leap of faith, put it on my credit card. It was like, oh, please don't be the next Kelly, because that was an awful one. Right. And it's just so cool. Like when you sometimes take a chance. So you've got to sit when you're talking about kind of working through money and mindset, what is holding you back with your own beliefs? Is it about your packages, how you price them? Nobody's going to buy that. Why not? We talked about it yesterday. Go look at the reviews from the last time I did this. Oh my gosh, I just got my largest package ever sold. There are 50 people in the lab. Go ask one of them how much their lives have been transformed, right? Go look at the comments from past Level Up Lead Gens, which is just a free training that you're in, right? Life-changing alterations in my business. Sometimes you guys got to get out of your own way, right? And it's hard. It's super hard to do that, but you got to take a step back, right? Debbie was talking a little bit yesterday about some of the things that have transformed her in the lab. She just happened to come into the session yesterday. Okay. She's not here today, but she was talking a little bit about just the true things that I want for people in doing these types of sessions, like Level Up Lead Gen or the lab or the SEO work or the strategy work or the consulting I do or the sleep coaching I do. I truly want people to win. And there's no ill will. There's no ulterior motives, right? I just truly want people to be good at their businesses. You invested so much money to start your business, and now you're sitting there and you're waiting. Maybe I'll get a new client today, right? I have this conversation sometimes with my team. They're like, oh, it's a little light this month. I'm like, okay, outside of the leads that I've sent you, which has been quite a few, what things have you done in your business? How many doctor's offices have you stopped by? How many chiropractors have you reached out to? How many phone calls or emails have you said? What things are you doing to get people in front of you? If you don't like social media, do you like writing? Do you like videos? Do you like YouTube? Do you like approaching schools? This is not Field of Dreams. So if you want to make more money, starts at the top in the funnel, guys. We talked about it on Tuesday. If you don't have people coming into your funnel, then there's nobody to come out at the bottom. Conversion metrics are 1%. 1%. You need 100 people to convert one client, right? What makes people spend money? Think about this from a client perspective. You get off a discovery call with a client, you're like, oh, I hope they book. I hope they book. I hope I didn't bag that one, right? Well, what in what you said to them is going to make them want to work with you? I'll tell you what it is, guys. It's not your cost. It's a little bit your value. This thing, the thumbs up. I figured out if you did this yesterday, it'll put a heart up on the screen. See, look at that. I'm teaching you guys new stuff. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's kind of fun. What makes them buy? One thing, belief that you can change their situation. When people believe that you can change whatever it is they desire, they will work with you. Doesn't matter how much you're charging. I believed that Bunny could change my situation. I trusted her with my payment, and she changed my situation, right? Belief in change. Now, the hard part is belief in change. I believed my past business coach, Kelly, could change things too. And it was terrible. It was a bait and switch. I never talked to her once in 2 years. And it was just frustrating and gross. But, I lived and learned. Now I know what to ask and what to look for and stuff. And I try to build that through value with things like this. But people will work with you when they believe you can help them to change their situation to get them to where they want to be. Your kid is sleeping through the night. You want to lose 35 pounds. For me, I got to gain weight. Who can I work with that's going to help me gain weight? Because I don't have a stomach, so I can't eat a lot, right? So it's like you're all going to have different situations depending on your business, depending on what you sell, how much you sell it, who you want to sell to, and ultimately what your goals are. It's going to look a little different if you're like, I'm doing a side hustle. I only want one client a week and I'm happy with that versus somebody who's like, I just quit my $200,000 a year job and I need this to be full-time hustle making money, right? Well, there's only so much time. So if you want to make 200 grand, it's not going to be through private coaching for clients unless you're charging that much money to hit 200 grand for clients a month times 12. Divide by what you want, right? You got to sit and work backwards to be like, what do I want this business to be? You obviously paid to get certified or to invest in opening a business or a restaurant or an enterprise or whatever you got into for a passion most of the time, but also with a belief that you could make a change. Then you just wait. Right? How are people going to find you? Do they believe you can help them change? Are you targeting the right demographic? And have you niched in enough to build the value for that? Right? These are all things that are going to have to come up, guys, for you to move forward in your business in whatever capacity you want it to look like. Right? If you don't have a list, if you don't have email nurturing, if you don't have a social media presence, if you're not consistently blogging, if your website domain is a 2, where are you getting clients? Trolling Facebook groups probably isn't an effective strategy or good use of your time. I can post one reel that might take me an hour end to end to do well and reach 10,000 people. Or I can make one blog post and know that it's going to go to my list. It's going to go to Google. Google, I get, 15,000 views a month. And then I take the same post and I turn it into the reel. And now I'm getting 20,000. And then I do a subsequent story. And then I post it over on LinkedIn with some different hashtags, right? So I just took my audience to like a bunch of different places because I got to fill the funnel, knowing that somewhere out there, when you start to learn your metrics, you're going to know it takes this amount of people to book this one client, right? You guys got to look at the numbers. This is numbers. Running a business is a numbers game. How many people are coming in? How many actually close? That's your conversion ratio. And then how many people do you need to meet your goal? That's it, minus your expenses, right? So getting over your own money mindset blockers and realizing that you were built to do this, you need to have confidence in what you sell. I said it the other day. I have confidence. I have confidence in the lab and sleep coaching and everything I do. So I convert much better because I'm confident that I can get you to your goal based on your goal. Now, if you came in and like a unicorn, you're like, I want to make $3 million in 4 days. I'd be like, we're not the best to work together, right? But when you have realistic goals, you got to work backwards. Like, how am I going to get them? You're not going to sit and wait. 9 out of 10 people sit and wait. Not a good time. Christmas. Oh, Easter's coming. School's out for the summer. Waiting. And then you wonder why, it's time to re-up for that certification. I'm not sure this is going to work out for me. Oh, what a shame. Like you invested so much and then you're so close, right? You got to figure out what works for you. And you've got to get over some of those blockers about how you feel about money, how you feel about your packages, how you feel about your own worth, right? The lab is a steal for $5,000. Sorry, but it is. My girlfriend sells LinkedIn training, $5,000, just LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn's one of the 50 things I teach in the lab. She easily sells it for $5,000, right? Because the value for her audience is that they need to grow a presence on LinkedIn. The value for the people that are in the lab is that they understand I can teach them what no other business coach will. Why? Because no other business coach knows it. There are very few people that know the amount of stuff that I do. Fact. Right? You've got to put yourself to be that expert in your niche. You are the go-to. Here is the packages. Here is the value. Here's your confidence in selling those packages. And you'll start to change your own money mindset. You got to put it out there. You got to believe it. And then you got to hold firm to it. Somebody in the lab said they had the busiest January they've ever had in their life, 30 sleep coaching clients. 30. Can you handle 30 private clients? They did. And they're sub 8, right? You have to believe in what you're doing, what you're selling, and then ultimately the success that you want to get to in your business. It's not all money related, my friends. My goal this year is to get that hot tub. Everybody's different. Okay. So throughout the rest of this weekend, I want you to go back. I want you to revisit some of the trainings we did earlier this week. I want you to really sit and think about the lessons that I've taught you this week that end with today for this week on money mindset. What is your money mindset about freebies and packages and positioning, right? I want you to really think about it, because when we come back in on Monday, we got 3 more days. You're stuck with me for 3 more days. Okay. And then I'm going to leave you forever. Not forever, but I'm going to leave you on Wednesday. So Monday, let me just pull up the rest of next week. We've got building a partner referral network, because I have a gangbusters one, and I'm going to teach you how to do that so that leads come to you more easily. Building your first email campaign, because this is really new to people. And then 2 SEO tools on Wednesday that you must have, and the winner of the SEO audit. So this weekend is your chance to catch up on the homework. If you complete the homework for every single day this week, and then on Monday, I'm going to pick one person from the Facebook group who's been doing the homework every day, and they're going to get a $500 SEO content audit. We're going to pull it up live. We're going to look at your site. We're going to look at competitors. We're going to look at keywords. We're going to see all this crazy good stuff about your business. So you're getting something for free just for doing the homework, which might take you more than maybe 10 minutes. Okay, pretty good. See, did it again. Yeah, that's where we're at. And if anybody's interested in learning more about these, you can probably Google it, because the heart I did accidentally yesterday. That's fun. But that's going to be next Wednesday, and then we're done. The fast action bonus is through tonight. So this is Friday, March 1st. So anybody who joins the lab will get a full content and SEO audit plus a competitive intelligence analysis, right? We're going to tell you what your competitors are doing so you can do it better than they do. Cha-ching. And then there's $500 off through Wednesday for folks inside of the Level Up Lead Gen. The coupon goes away Wednesday night. The enrollment for the lab is always open. I'm not a pushy salesman. When you want and are ready to change how you're doing things in business, I'll be here for you. There's some incentives to get started now, $500 off and the competitive intelligence, but I'm always here. The enrollment for the lab is open, and I would welcome you at the time you are ready. So I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. Enjoy your weekend, catching up, do your homework, and I'll see you on Monday with more great education here from your favorite accidental business coach. Bye for now.